So nobody buys a bus that's problem-free. If it was problem-free, well, they wouldn't be getting rid of it. This one, unfortunately, had some issues that were kind of major, but not too bad. And there's some that I fixed and some that need to be fixed yet. The first is the transmission in this thing. When I bought it, it only had third gear as forward, neutral, and reverse. It wouldn't shift any gears, so you can only go about 40 miles per hour, 35, 40 max, something like that. And that's how I drove it home. No shifting, no nothing. And here's what I found to be the problem. I was going through checking transmission wiring, because the other symptoms were you didn't have a speedometer, ABS light was on, and the high idle wouldn't work. And the odometer wasn't counting. So right there, that box right there is the transmission computer. You can pry that up and kind of see the transmission computer there. The harnesses that go into it. I gotta bolt that back down. But I was under here by chance just looking, and the conduit, see how it's all on here nice? Well, the conduit up front here was kind of pulled off. And it was kind of taped up weird, so I pulled that back to look at it, and I found that there were some wires that had corroded and broke. Now what it appears to me happened was somebody was in here at one point troubleshooting, and they stripped some wires and probably checking voltage, and some of them they taped up, and some of them they didn't. Some of them they just said to hell with it, and here you go. Well, they corroded, some of them broke. So he had a bunch of issues going on here. So what I did was I had to cut out a lot of wire, the contaminated wire that was left, splice in new. I used heat shrink connectors, and then I taped over them. So a lot of this wire, all this stuff here, that's all sticking out of the other harness is new. So I just need to go ahead, and I just test drove this thing. It's all good and shifts and goes down the road. Need to put the conduit back on and protect the wires. And show what it looks like up there. Open up that panel, and you can see there's some wires I had to splice up here. The other big issue is back here on the engine. There is a fuel leak that I have to track down, and you can see all this wetness right here is fuel. Now, I'm not sure where it's coming from. It's leaking down from the side here, but I gotta track that down. The problem is you can't see anything back there because all this stuff in the way. So I think I'm gonna have to maybe take off the intake hose there. See if we can't see where the fuel's coming from. Just kind of odd. I don't know. Well, that takes care of most of the issues with this thing. Everything else is kind of minor. Needs an air line replaced that's leaking. Transmission's fixed now though. I just need to tape all that stuff up and figure out why it's leaking fuel. This thing's also had a problem where when you go to stop at like a stop sign, it dies, and I think it's because there's probably air somewhere because of that fuel leak. And it's not a huge, I mean, it's more like a drip. Maybe wait, another 30 seconds to get a drip. So, pretty light duty. Alright, thanks for watching.